Hello, everyone. Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and we are taking a look at a very interesting comparison today. This is Sean Clarida, the 212 champion. He took the title at the 2020 Mr. Olympia event, and Hadi Choopan. He placed fourth at the Olympia in the open class. And many of you may be scratching your heads thinking, why are you doing this comparison, Mark? Well, nobody actually nailed this one on Fan Request Friday or You Pick Tuesday, things of that nature. But I have had this one flooding in my Instagram, just the comment section. Many of you guys have requested this one for some reason. I mean, you're interested to see if the 212 champion could defeat a guy placing, say, fourth at the Olympia. Now, why fourth? The money situation. This could be a reason you guys are picking this. It's 55 grand for fourth place, and it's 50 grand for the 212 first place. So it's right around the same money making area for these guys. But anyway, could it be the money? Could that equal the quality of the physiques as well? Go to the front double bicep pose. And you know what, guys? I honestly thought this one was not going to be even a comparison. I thought with Hadi Choopan's conditioning and his size advantage, which he usually doesn't have, he's going to destroy Sean Clarida. But take a look, ladies and gentlemen, that is not the case. Sean Clarida, thin skin, conditioning, and muscle for muscle. Look at the arms on this little man, not to mention the legs. No, they're not as big as Hadi Choopan's. Hadi Choopan's got some massive striated quads, but look at the overall conditioning. This Sean Clarida means business, and you guys were right. This does make a matchup for sure. I don't know, guys. I might even go with Clarida. Go to the front lat spread because we don't have all day. We actually have this is the Friday shows for each, and we are going to have the Saturday show when this is all done. When all the poses are done, we'll go to the Saturday show instead of doing, 2 front double buys, 2 front lats, things of that nature. Front lat spread, I don't know if the conditioning edge that Clarida has here is ever going to be enough to touch Hadi Choopan, those lats. I mean, it's not all about conditioning. I mean, it's mostly about conditioning, but when it's a superior edge like this, might have to go with Hadi. So I guess it's even coming out of the 2 front shots. Go to the side, and Hadi Choopan is a beast. This time the conditioning seems to be a little bit closer. I would still say Sean Clarida. I mean, from the top of his head, for goodness sakes, to the bottom of his foot, the guy is diced. He is peeled. As Sean Roden says, I was so peeled. Anyway, this has nothing to do with Sean Roden. Of course, he would have been good to be in the 2020 Olympia. Food for thought. Anyway, guys, it's size versus conditioning. I think Hadi might get an edge. Go to the side tricep, and I think Hadi might be getting an edge in both of the side shots, although I couldn't find a hit-to-spec side tricep for Hadi Choopan. His arm looks bigger. Not as conditioned again, but look at the chest, the muscle for muscle, Hadi's winning in this one. And this time in the abs, the midsection, Hadi Choopan definitely superior in that angle. But still, guys, I can't really say for sure because it's not a hit-to-spec side tricep. And there was one of Sean Clarida, so it's not his fault. Not his fault. Anyway, nothing wrong with taking a look at a couple of dudes' hoo-haws. Go turn to the back shots. Rear lat spread. Wow, guys. This is not what I thought it was going to be like. Look at Hadi Choopan in the glutes. He looks soft. He just does not look nearly as conditioned as Sean Clarida. He is a little beast. But little might be the word. Nowhere near as wide and as thick as Hadi Choopan. But wow, guys. Muscle separation, glutes. He is a little beast, and he is giving Hadi Choopan a run for his money, for sure. Rear double bicep. Now, this is a better pose for Sean Clarida if you take 2 of his back shots, and maybe a worse one for Hadi Choopan if you take his 2, because I think his lat spread is better than his rear double bi. So this is going to end up being a best case Ontario for Sean Clarida, for sure, and worst case Ontario for Hadi Choopan. But still, Hadi is a whole lot bigger. But then again, guys, conditioning over size. I mean, if Hadi Choopan could come in peeled and defeat Big Ramy. I think Sean Clarita, if he was more peeled, he would defeat Hadi Choopan. But I would say Ramy was more peeled than Hadi Choopan at the Olympia. Anyway, guys, turn back around. No Abanthai for Friday. Don't worry, there's one for Saturday. I'm trying to kind of speed this up because there's 2 poses for each. Monstrous is Hadi Choopan. He really practices this pose, and that helps, guys. Practice those poses. Even when you're going to use the washroom, don't ever walk past a mirror without hitting a shot. Doesn't matter if it's in public. Who cares? Just, hit a shot. Anybody who says anything? I doubt anybody's going to say anything. If you're in shape, you're flexing, and nobody wants to mess with an in-shape person, I'm here to tell you. Crab position, this one's a little bit better for Sean Clarita, I would say, aesthetically. Looks more like a pyramid mountain, like a monster. And Hadi Choopan, never the best pose for him, the crab position. Not bad. I mean, look at the traps on the guy, but still, I don't know. So it's close, guys. I'm much more impressed with Sean Clarita's conditioning coming out of Friday. And let's go, without further ado, into the Saturday show. And right out of the chute, I mean, this is a front relaxed. I know, I understand, but right out of the chute, both guys look better. You see that? Midsections look tighter for both guys. Are they going to be completely better? Hard to say. Let's go to the front double bicep pose and look at the left bicep of Hadi Choopan. It looks like a balloon. It looks like there's some synthol in there. Anyway, you see a lot of bicep peaks from the 1960s and 70s like that as well. And there was no synthol around then, so could be just a big old peak. That conditioning of Sean Clarita, guys, that's unbeatable. I still say he looks better than Hadi Choopan in the front double bi. Although it is close. Hadi might even have the better shape. And I'm not saying Sean Clarita has the best shape in the world over top of Hadi, but his conditioning is so much better. You have to take that into consideration. Front lat spread, basically the same as the Friday show. Although maybe a little bit better here for Sean Clarita. I think if you compare the Friday and Saturday front lat spreads, it's a little bit more filled out in the lat region. But ditto with Hadi Choopan. He looks fantastic. And to be honest, guys, I think his conditioning, due to the traveling, things of that nature, yes, I seen all the information on how hard it was for Hadi to get to the U.S. You know what? In the history books, you're going to be watching the event. You are not going to care how these guys got to the event or what their excuses are. Doesn't matter. And if somebody does say anything to you about that, you're going to say, nah, he's just using that as an excuse. So it doesn't really matter, guys. Doesn't really matter. Go to the side chest, and I would probably give Hadi an edge in the front lat. And in the side chest, probably as well, but still. Actually, if you compare the side chests from Friday, the conditioning was closer. I think Clarita's conditioning is a little bit ahead in this pose, at least. I would say. I mean, hey, you can't blame the lighting. It's the exact same lighting. But anyway, this is the side chest, and this is the side tricep. And if you will, take a look at Sean Clarita, guys. The tricep itself, yes, he's a much smaller man, but Hadi Choopan's no giant. He's not a big giant. I mean, what is he, 5'7"? Maybe? And like I said, not a mass monster per se. And Sean Clarita, he is, he's in a dogfight. And I would almost give him the side tricep, if it was not for the pecs and the abs that Hadi Choopan possesses. What a shape. What a shape. Turn around. Look at the back shots. Not as clear, the two photos, unfortunately, for Hadi Choopan, for the back lat and the back double bi. But you can still see, I would say, that he is in better condition for Saturday. He's not quite as tight in the conditioning department as Sean Clarita, I don't think. But he does look a little tighter, I have to admit, Hadi Choopan. So the traveling thing, yes, it makes a difference. But you know what, guys? It's not a boxing match. It's not running. It's not swimming. It's not pro wrestling. It does not matter. what you inspire yourself to do that day of the event. I mean, an underling boxer can knock out a championship boxer with one lucky shot. In bodybuilding, it's all about the prep. You can't just go in one day and say, okay, I'm going to give it my best. You can't do that. It's all calculated. And Hadi Choopan did not do his homework. Plain and simple. He should have been in the U.S. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. It's a science leading up to the day. You have to nail every piece of food you eat, every single thing. Every single thing. Rear double bicep. I hate to get upset about that, but hey, people use excuses. Oh, I didn't carb up enough. Hey, that's your fault. That's your fault. This is a sport, and it's all about prep, is bodybuilding. And I do agree, guys. Hadi Choopan, he looks a whole lot better. He looks dimensions better, more conditioned for the Saturday show. So if he had came in early, prepped properly, he could be the Olympia champion right now. Hard to say. Anyway, guys, let's wrap this one up. I guess we have a most muscular after this. This is the ab and thigh. Shaun Clarida, his conditioning is awesome. But I mean, Hadi Choopan, he is world class in an ab and thigh pose. Aesthetically, he's bigger, he's more aesthetic, maybe not as conditioned. So there is going to be an argument. People are still going to like Shaun Clarida more. But at the end of the day, and this is the Saturday, I mean, here's the most muscular. You're going to really have to base your final decision on the final day, correct? I mean, unless it's a total blowout on a Friday. In which case, if it was a total blowout, I don't think any amount of prep in one day could really overthrow an entire blowout victory. But still, guys, Hadi Choopan, he does look a lot more conditioned here. But not as conditioned as Shaun Clarida. Way bigger, though. Here's a hand clasped to give a final say in this comparison, this competition. The 212 champion, Shaun Clarida, he is definitely rocking the foundation of Hadi Choopan, who, food for thought, and this is worth mentioning, he was a 212 athlete, was Hadi Choopan. Actually, Flex Lewis defeated him, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't have said so if I was the judge, but hey, that's what went on in the history books. So, can the 212 champion defeat a fourth place participant in the open class? Not today. Not today, guys. This is your winner, Hadi Choopan. I think he made up for it. Maybe if we were going just on the Friday shows, maybe I would have probably actually given it to Shaun Clarida. But I think with the size advantage, all you really have to do is be close to the conditioning, and if you're better conditioned, of course it's a win. It's a victory. But then you have to take into consideration shape, which Hadi Choopan was winning. So I think that was the final nail. He was winning on too many aspects. Anyway, guys, it was a heck of a matchup. Close, very close. Hit thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram as well. Have a fantastic day.